So welcome back to our discussion. So now we focus on the key activities of the front office department. So basically, there are eight key activities being done by the front office department. Number one is the reservations management. So when we talk about reservations management, this is basically a process at which the guest will call or communicate with the hotel to reserve a room or reserve a space in the outlets or the food outlets or avail any of the services that is being offered by the hotel. So basically, the reservations management activities involves the booking, revising, and canceling of reservations. So again, there's the booking, revising, and canceling of reservations. So they handle these three main functions. Second is the guest services. So this includes the concierge, the front offices, or the front desk staff, and the uniform services. So the guest services activities involves the service for our in-house guests. So from the time that they check into the hotel up to the time that they check out, and everything that is in between. So the provision of hospitality is a very of superior hospitality should be uh, the utmost concern, and it should be exploited in this key activity. The third one is the night audit. So front office team doesn't just function as people who are just welcoming guests, but rather they are the ones who's also conducting some financial activities for the hotel. So they do operational financial activities. How is it so? With the help of our night auditors. So the night auditors are actually delineated between the front office and the finance team. So they are both reporting to the finance head and to the head of or to the director of rooms. The night auditor basically check and balances, okay, all the transactions being done on a day-to-day basis. That's why they are called night auditors, because they perform the entire auditing of transactions at the end of the day. So meaning to say they are conducting audits at 10 p.m. up until 2 in the morning the following day. Okay, so that's the standard time for night auditing. Okay, and then number four is the management of the property management system, or the PMS. Okay, PMS is basically a system, a hotel booking system utilized by the hotel itself. So this is where the reservations team are actually reserving rooms. This is where the night auditor is conducting uh, their audits or their transaction audits. This is where the front desk team are actually checking in and checking out the guests and registering the guest information. So there are different property management systems that are available in the market today. But the most common and the widely used property management system in the market, which is basically used by the 4-star and 5-star hotels, is basically the Opera. Okay, so we have the Opera PMS, but there are some more convenient and affordable PMS available also, such as Hotelogics. We also have Maestro, um, Symphony. So those are some of the property management systems. Number five is the revenue management activities. So when we talk about revenue management activities, this involves the optimization of revenue on every products sold on our guests. So in our case, the room rates are being adjusted. The room prices are being adjusted depending on the seasonality of the booking requirements. So during high season, the prices of the rooms are high. During lean season, the price of the rooms are low. That's a basic rule. However, there are some adjustments based on the forecast and the forecasted occupancy of the hotel. So there are different strategies on how we conduct discounting. So the revenue management involves yields. Okay, so we are going to yield rooms such as how we do it on the airline seats. But we have a separate discussion at the end of this chapter, particularly on the revenue management. So we're going to compute for occupancy percentage. We're going to compute for revenue and forecasted revenues. Okay, so we're going to tackle about those in the end of this chapter. Guest services management. So this is basically understanding feedbacks from our guests, um, understanding the process of serving our guests. So this is being done by the director of rooms and front office managers. Guest accounting, it's the same as like auditing. However, the guest accounting is basically the inputting of transactions. So this is being done by the front office cashier. And the last one is the general data management. So this involves the encoding of the guest data, okay, particularly the personal information of our guest, which will be inputted on our property management system that can be used for marketing activities, and as it can also be used for referrals and uh, post departure activities, okay, such as feedback mechanism. Okay, so right now let's start with the first one, which is the reservations phase of uh, the front office team. So basically, when we talk about the reservations, the hotel reservations is a vital process in the entire hotel management cycle. Without reservations, guests will not be able to book certain services in the hotel. And the reservation comes in different forms, modes, and channels. Like what I have discussed earlier, this is the first touch point of our guest. However, this is not personal. It's not basically a face-to-face activity, but this is the first touch point of our prospective guests. So this is also a critical path for the reservation of our guests. It creates a certain critical area in the success of the hotel business. So let's talk about guaranteed and non-guaranteed reservations. So when guests are actually reserving rooms, they have an option to either guarantee their rooms or have it on a non-guaranteed reservation. So what are the difference of the two? So basically, when we talk about guaranteed reservations, these are reservations that is required for a prepayment. So meaning to say, the hotel reservation staff will ask a certain amount from the guests in order to prepay the entire stay of the guest reservation. Say for instance, the guest will be staying for 3 nights. Normally, the hotel staff will be asking for a prepayment of at least 1 night. So if the rate is 3,000 per night, times 3 nights, so that's 9,000 pesos, the reservation agent will be asking for a prepayment of at least 3,000 pesos to guarantee the first night. Okay? Why do we need to guarantee a reservation? Simply because we have to secure the revenue of the hotel. Okay? If the reservation is non guaranteed, basically the guest can cancel anytime, and um, we cannot ask them to pay for any cancellation fees because we have not collected any amounts from them. Okay. Uh, the good thing about guaranteeing the reservation is that when a guest cancels a certain reservation, there are different cancellation policies that we can apply. So at the least, we can get at least 50%. Okay, to still guarantee the reservation, even though they have already canceled their bookings. And with that, we can also increase our revenue. Okay, so those are some of the techniques. Non-guaranteed reservation, on the other hand, is a reservation with a specific time. Okay, so we can still require the guest to go on a non-guaranteed reservation. However, we can hold it on a specific time only. So, say for instance, the reservation can only be held for 3 days before the arrival. Otherwise, it will be cancelled. Okay. It is always subject to auto release, meaning to say if the guest will not guarantee a certain date, it will be cancelled. But how it provides flexibility, but it is also an added risk on our revenue management. So let's take a quick break, and then afterwards we will continue our discussion. Thank you very much.